Hello everybody again. Today I have a short lesson on basic linkers to help you with your cohesion and coherence score in the writing or in the speaking as well. I'm going to talk about linkers and their meaning, so cohesive devices or linkers, especially today just these three categories. Now it's important to remember that linkers are not just words that you can put in any place in a sentence. It's important to understand that they have a meaning and they have a function. So every linker has a meaning. Every linker introduces a specific type of information after it. Don't use linkers just because you think they sound good. You have to use the right linker in the right place. In the IELTS exam, you're expected to use some linking devices flexibly. What it means, this means that you can't learn linkers by heart and put them in sentences where they don't make sense. You need to know what the linkers do. Well, some linkers introduce a contrast. So what is a contrast? A contrast is something different that you're saying. So you're saying something in a sentence. For example, this is green. You have a contrast, which is represented by this here. So something that is completely different contradicts what you say here. Here I'm saying this is green. Here I'm saying this is not so green. So these two sentences are in contrast with each other. Let's look at the proper sentence here. State schools offer excellent education in the UK. This is one sentence, the green sentence. Some parents prefer to send their children to private schools. And this is the contrast. So we have state schools and then we have private schools. We're saying information, we're saying two sentences here that say different things. They can be linked together with a linker like however. However introduces a contrast. There are also other linkers that can be used to introduce a contrast, for example, even so, and despite that. I can read the same sentence using these linkers and the meaning doesn't change. The meaning is the same. For example, state schools offer excellent education in the UK. Even so, some parents prefer to send their children to private schools. Or, state schools offer excellent education in the UK. Despite that, some parents prefer to send their children to private schools. So this is an example of linkers that are used to show a contrast. Okay, the next set of linkers are linkers that are used for adding information. In this case, there is no contrast, but the information in the first sentence and in the second sentence express a similar meaning. We're just giving one more example or something, one more piece of information. For example, some people believe that giving children homework is unjust. So homework is unjust is my first piece of information. It does not lead to better performance. Is similar to this. So I'm saying homework is not fair. Children need to play. And homework is not useful. It does not lead to better performance. So here I need a linker like what's more to prepare whoever is reading the sentence to similar information after. So listen to this. Some people believe that giving children homework is unjust. What's more, it does not lead to better performance. There are other linkers that you can use to add information. For example, in addition to that, and besides. Listen to the sentence with these two different linkers. Some people believe that giving children homework is unjust. In addition to that, it does not lead to better performance. Or, some people believe that giving children homework is unjust. Besides, it does not lead to better performance. The last set of linkers that I wanted to talk about today are the linkers that are used for introducing a consequence. Okay, so for example, we have a sentence, this is true, and after the linker we have, this could happen because of that. So this is the consequence and this is the fact. For example, children learn better through play, and here, giving them too much homework could have negative effects on their development. So here I am saying that children need to play, and if I give them too much homework, there may be negative effects. So I can use the linker therefore to introduce a consequence. So children learn better through play, therefore giving them too much homework could have negative effects on their development. I have other linkers that have the same meaning as therefore. So for example here, as a consequence and hence. I'm going to read the same sentence with these different linkers. Children learn better through play. As a consequence, giving them too much homework could have negative effects on their development. Or, children learn better through play. Hence, giving them too much homework could have negative effects on their development. This is a little exercise for you. You can stop the video here. What I would like you to do is read the sentence and try to remember what linkers you think you should use in each of this sentence. I'm going to give you the answers in a minute. So if you want to try and think about it first, maybe click on pause now. Think about it a little bit and then wait for my solutions, my answers. Okay, so better education can improve a country's economic situation. Governments should invest in schools. So what are these two sentences doing here? Do you think it's a contrast? Do you think I'm talking about a consequence? Or do you think I'm talking about adding information? It's a consequence. So because I believe that economic education can improve a country's economic, I believe that governments should invest in schools. So better education can improve a country's economic situation. Therefore, governments should invest in schools. Research shows that giving children homework does not lead to better learning. Most schools still load their pupils with too much homework. I'm showing a contrast here. I'm saying little homework is better, and here I'm saying that schools give too much homework. So I need to use a contrast here, and I have chosen despite this. Research shows that giving children homework does not lead to better learning. Despite this, most schools still load their pupils with too much homework to do at home. And the last sentence, a lot of schools in the UK are free, which is a positive thing, and they offer a good standard of education, which is also a positive thing. So in this case, I need a linker that is adding more information. So adding information with what's more. A lot of schools in the UK are free. What's more, they offer a good standard of education. As I showed you in the first slide, there are a lot of different linkers with a lot of different functions. Today we looked at the first three, but in this little slide here, I have given you more and their meaning. So it is important that you focus on the meaning of the linkers and not just on linkers by themselves. Every linker introduces a sentence that does something different from the first or the same as the first. For example, introducing a contrast, introducing a consequence, or adding information, which we did today. We also have generalizing, for example, as a rule, on the whole and in general, adding new or surprising information. In fact, actually, as a matter of fact, introducing an example. Sorry, this is an example. For example, for instance, and to give an example, and summarizing in a word, in short, in a nutshell. Using linkers can help the reader or the listener get ready for the type of information that you're going to write about. So it makes it easier for people who are reading your writing to understand what you're trying to do. Okay, so I told you this was a short lesson, so this is the end of the lesson. If you want to try and write an IELTS task and get feedback for your writing, send your Word document to my email address, which is improveyourilts@gmail.com, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, IELTS Teacher. So, goodbye!